If you're thinking about moving to Greensboro, North Carolina, you probably heard a lot about why people are moving here, but what most videos don't talk about is why some people are actually leaving. And in this video, I'm going to break down the real reasons why people are leaving Greensboro and also why a lot of people are still choosing to stay, because the truth is, it's not as simple as people make it seem. Hey, what's going on everyone? Nicholas Newcomer here with eXp Realty, right here in the heart of North Carolina. If this is your first time on the channel, I make videos every single week about what it's like to live, work, and move to areas all across the Triad and Triangle. So if you're thinking about relocating anywhere in North Carolina, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss anything. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing, my phone number and email are down below. Call, text, or email me anytime. My team and I help people relocate here every single week. All right, let's jump straight into it. Here are the real reasons why some people are leaving Greensboro. The first reason is something I hear pretty often, and that's that Greensboro can feel a little slower compared to bigger cities when you compare it to places like Raleigh or Charlotte. Those cities are growing fast. There's constant development, new restaurants, new entertainment, new businesses popping up all the time. Greensboro is growing, but it's not growing at the same pace. So for some people, especially if you're coming from a larger metro area, it can feel like there's just not as much going on. Now, for some people, that's actually positive, but for others, it's a reason they decide to leave. The next reason is something that surprises a lot of people when they move here, and that's transportation. Greensboro is not a very walkable city, and public transportation is pretty limited. So realistically, you're going to need a car for just about everything: getting to work, going to the store, going out to eat. If you're coming from a place where you're used to walking everywhere or hopping on a subway or train, that can be a big adjustment. And for some people, it ends up being a deal breaker. Now, the third reason is a big one, and that's that Greensboro is very location specific. What I mean by that is some areas are really nice, quiet, great neighborhoods, and the other areas not so much. I always suggest to my clients to look at crimemapping.com, or even better, call the sheriff's department and ask them for info in that area. As a realtor, I can only provide resources to you to make an informed decision. So when people move here without really knowing the area, sometimes they end up in a location that doesn't fit what they were expecting. And that's when you start to hear people say they don't like Greensboro, but in reality, it's not the city as a whole, it's just that certain area. Another thing that doesn't get talked about enough is pollen. If you've never lived in North Carolina before, especially in the Triad, springtime can hit you pretty hard. You'll see it everywhere, on your car, on your driveway, on your porch. It's that yellow-green dust that just covers everything. And if you have allergies, it can definitely impact your day-to-day life more than you might expect. Now let's talk about jobs, because this is another reason some people choose to leave. Greensboro actually has a solid job market, but it really depends on your industry. There are strong opportunities in healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, and education, with companies like Honda Aircraft Company, Volvo Trucks North America, and Cone Health being major employers in the area. But if you're in tech or certain high-paying corporate roles, you may find fewer opportunities here compared to larger cities. And because of that, some people end up relocating to places with more career growth opportunities. And that leads into the next point, which is wages. One of the biggest benefits of Greensboro is the lower cost of living, but on the flip side of that is that wages are generally lower as well. The median household income is around $61,515. So while you may save money on housing and everyday expenses, you may also be earning less depending on your job. And for some people, that trade-off just doesn't make sense long term. Now, with all that said, let's flip this around, because there's a reason a lot of people are still moving to Greensboro and staying here long term. The biggest reason is affordability. Compared to cities like Raleigh and Charlotte, Greensboro is much more affordable. You can get a lot more house for your money here. The median sales price for a house in Greensboro is around $295,000, and for a lot of buyers, especially first-time buyers, that's a huge advantage. Another big reason is location. Greensboro is centrally located in North Carolina, which means you've got easy easy access to everything. You're about an hour and a half from Raleigh, about an hour and a half from Charlotte, and around 2 hours to the mountains, and about 3 to 4 hours to the beach. So you're not stuck in one place. You've got options even for day trips. The next reason people stay is the lifestyle. Greensboro offers a slower pace of life, less traffic, and generally less stress compared to larger cities. You've got more space, bigger homes, and it's just a little more relaxed overall. For a lot of people, that's exactly what they're looking for. It's also a very family-friendly area. There are plenty of suburban neighborhoods, quieter communities, and places where people feel comfortable raising a family, and that's one of the reasons a lot of people choose to settle here long term. And while Greensboro isn't growing as fast as Raleigh, it's still growing. We've seen steady development, new businesses, and continued interest from people moving into the area. So it's not stagnant, it's just more stable and less chaotic. So who is Greensboro really a good fit for? It's a great option if you're looking for affordability, more space, a slower pace of life, in a central location. It's especially good for first-time home buyers, families, remote workers, and people relocating from more expensive areas. But on the flip side, who is Greensboro not good for? If you're looking for a fast-paced, high-energy city with a lot of nightlife, walkability, and constant growth, Greensboro might feel a little too slow for you. At the end of the day, Greensboro really comes down to what you're looking for. If you're thinking about moving to Greensboro or anywhere in North Carolina, reach out to me directly. Call or text me at 336-266-8976 or email me at nick.realtor@icloud.com. My team and I help people relocate here every single week, and we love to help you too. And if you got any value from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on a future video. Thanks for watching.